It's the evening of Monday, May 15th. We got 5 more days. It's 9:20, just finishing up my food prep for tomorrow. Wanted to quickly check in. Today was the first day I did my initial carb loading. Was great, eating more. I ate around 325 grams of carbs, which is a little less than 3 times my normal daily carbs over the last couple of weeks, which was around 120-ish, 150, 120, 120 for the last week, 9 days or so, 150 after that for quite some time. People have suggested it's probably best to carb load, which the reason for carb loading is to have your muscles, which are depleted of carbs, and rely on something called glycogen to give your muscles like a fuller look, and to do that later in the week close to prep. I read a bit about this from Dr. Lane Norton, who I follow, take a lot of advice from online. He's the co-creator of the app I use called Carbon that just tracks my macros, and he suggested to do it in the beginning of the week and slowly taper it down. That way you're not shocking your body 2 days before a competition, and if things go wrong, you don't really have time to modulate or to course correct. And I kind of subscribe to that idea. So here I am on Monday, and I went from about 120 carbs to 320. Today is going to be, or tomorrow is going to be 300, and I'm going to show you that meal. And it's going to slide down a bit towards the end of the week, hovering on Friday to about 160 grams of carbs the day before the competition. So we'll see. I think it's a good idea. We'll see how my body reacts, but today was a lot better than normal with my hunger and so on. I'm not manipulating at all any water, except the morning of. I'll probably just sip water. When I'm about 2 hours before, I'll start sipping water only on an as-needed basis, because I don't want to screw around with nature, with my body. And also, again, I subscribe to the idea of, like, your body is pretty smart and it's been evolving for thousands of years. And the idea that you're going to deplete your body of water and have that be a good thing, I don't understand. The idea and thinking is that when you're depleting your body of water, your body will suck the water out of your skin and your subcutaneous skin layer, and give you a more peeled look. And I know a lot of people do it, and maybe there's some truth to it, but the notion of that your body's not going to react, I don't understand, because your body's made up majority of water. 60-70% of our body is water. If you look at the split between the water, it's split between what's called extracellular, which is underneath the skin, and intracellular, which is in the muscles. And my feeling is if the body needs water and it can't find it because you're not feeding it, it's going to suck it from wherever it can. It's going to take it out of your blood vessels. It's going to take it out of the fluid that surrounds your organs. It's going to take it out of your muscles. So why screw around with that? So I'm not going to worry about water. My feeling is you're either lean enough to get on a stage or you're not. Manipulating water is not going to really make or break you, to be honest, and maybe not even healthy to do. What I am going to do is mess around with my sodium intake. So I've been doing sodium between 2,000 and 3,000 milligrams per day for years. What I am going to do is, so my contest is on a Saturday. Starting on Thursday, I'm going to go from like 2,000 to 2,500 to 2,500, and Friday I'm going to bump it up to about 4,000, and then Saturday I'm going to have a number of meals before the comp, and I'll have like 1,000 milligrams of salt in each sitting. And the thinking there, which I can understand, is that your body will dilate your blood vessels and give yourself a decent amount of vascularity, and the blood pumping through your blood vessels is modulated by our blood pressure. And one thing that could increase your blood pressure on a temporary basis is an increase in sodium intake. And eventually, I think your body would just normalize it if you just surged your food intake of salt. And then after a couple of days, I'm sure it would kind of figure things out. But I am going to give that a shot a couple of days as I said before, and then the day of, and see if that helps. But other than that, it's really just the carbs and the protein and the calories and so on. So that's it, guys. I really wanted to check in. I'm feeling overall pretty good. Having some bloating issues in the last couple days. I think it's just because I'm so damn lean. My body's like very sensitive to things. You know, maybe I was eating too much of sweet potatoes. You know, maybe I'm getting sensitive to the caffeine because I'm probably drinking more coffee than normal to help suppress my hunger. I don't know, but it's good when I wake up, and then throughout the day it's fine. And then sometimes during the day, and now it's 9:30 p.m. before I hit the bed, it's kind of like, you know, bloaty, tight feeling. So maybe I'm just starving, or hungry, or my, you know, body's still messed up from the different types of macros I've been eating in terms of the lower caloric intake and carb intake. I don't know. But other than that, like body-wise, I'm feeling great. Had a great workout today. I'm now only working out tomorrow and Wednesday at 80% of failure. I'm not even going to failure, but I am hitting the muscles, and I'm going at about 70 to 80% of my normal weight, just to do some muscle memory and make sure my body is continuing to try to stay into a mode of keeping my skeletal muscle mass. And that's about it. So let's do a quick glance at the food, have every food except one meal prepped, and talk about that, and then we'll call it a night. All right. So I am pretty psyched about the meal tomorrow. Meal number one, which is around 4:30 in the morning, is a little bit of oatmeal, 30 grams, some whey isolate protein powder, and some cinnamon and some nutmeg, and there's 3 ounces of a plant-based milk. It's a pea protein blend, company called Ripple. And then I have a single Kodiak waffle with about 13 to 15 grams of peanut butter, and then some sliced apples. This is a pretty heavy meal. I mean, this is, believe it or not, pushing close to 600 calories. Each meal here, the goal was to get, generally speaking, about 10 grams of fat, about 50-ish grams of carbs, about 30-ish grams of protein, give or take, right? This is on the bigger side, which I'm doing before my workout. Meal number 2 is brown rice, quite a bit. Brown rice, spinach, cut up chicken breast that I baked in the oven, some bananas, and these are actually egg matzo crackers. My grocery store had an insane sale of all these boxes of matzo, which is great for getting very you know, low sodium treat that's high in carbs, and only has mostly carbs. So this was able to, I'm basically topped off my carb intake that I needed with these, you know, kind of like airy crackers. So that's meal number 2. Meal number 3, underneath here is some matzo crackers as well, but I had 2 mini wheat pita, brown rice, chicken, and spinach, brown rice, chicken, and spinach, some pistachios, and some sweet potatoes. Some sweet potatoes, some brown rice, and yes, that is correct, I just dumped some peanut butter on there to top off some remaining fats I needed. What you don't see is my final meal, which is going to be a little bit of egg white liquid, about 150 grams, a small amount of, like, less than an ounce of chicken, which I just had left over, and then a little bit of banana, which I just had left over. So all in all, my macros tomorrow will be approximately, give or take a few grams, 50 grams of fat, 300 grams of carbs, and about 150 grams of protein. Takes me up to around 2,200 and change calories. So that's it, guys. I'll check in soon. Have a great night. Bye.